Hello, everybody. I am Joanne Swensrud of Know It Sooner Computer Training, and thanks for coming to Free Fridays. Today we're going to be talking about Microsoft Word styles, and we are going to be looking at non-printing characters, making sure people know about enters and page breaks and things like that, and then going into styles, how we can create them and modify them and what they're for, and then how we can use them to create a table of contents. So I've got lots of stuff going on today. Wanted to show you www.knowitsooner.com. Got lots of stuff on there. Got some videos on there. That's how to contact me later if you want to set up some of these sessions for your organization, or we do one-on-ones as well. The tip of the day, you can click on that and you're able to see what today's tip is, and that changes every day. So today it is Control F. That is how you can forward an attachment, which seems to be spelt wrong. I'm going to have to fix that. I never noticed that. And in Outlook, Control F. So you're reading something, Control F. So that changes every single day. If you like it enough to get your own copy, there's a link here. It's available as an ebook as well. So you can go into there and grab it if you want. And yeah, check out some of the videos. We've got lots of stuff on our YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be I already went into the downloads area and I grabbed a couple of documents that we'll be working with. One is called Microsoft Word Features, and it is an ugly, ugly document. That's the completed version. That one, it doesn't look too bad. Here it is. Here's the one. It doesn't look great. There's a lot of spacing that's not happening. There's some bullets that aren't that exciting. They're pretty tiny, actually. Stuff like this happens where the paragraph breaks across the page. We can set that up to not happen ever. Look at this. This heading doesn't follow its stuff on the next page. This is a very, very old document, by the way, talking about Windows XP and stuff like that. Very old. Anyway, the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to select everything. So you can either do a Control A, or you can triple click on the left hand side. 1, 2, 3, and that gets everything, even the stuff that we can't see. So select everything, and then this is a command that I do. I don't even care if I'm going to use the style feature or not. I'm going to take this command here, paragraph, on my home ribbon tab. I can right click and go paragraph as well, whatever. And I'm going to say where it says indents and spacing, I'm going to say line and page breaks. And then I'm going to turn this keep lines together on. I don't know if it was on or not. I think it had a little dash. That means that maybe some paragraphs do and some don't. Look at all the stuff I have selected. So I'm going to go keep lines together. And as I do that, I want us to watch what happens with this paragraph. Look at that. It says, hey, I can't keep the whole thing on the bottom of this page, so I'm going to move the whole thing to the next page. That's pretty cool. So I do that for everything anyway. It doesn't matter. I could be done right now. I do that for every single thing. It might make it have an extra page, maybe not. So now I'm going to start working with the actual headings. So I'm going to just pick a heading here. I'm going to call this a heading 1. So that's a heading 1. This one's a heading 1. I think there was one up here. That's a heading 1. I want them to all look the same. So it doesn't really matter which one I work with. I'm just going to fancy it up. Maybe I want to make it a different font. Maybe I love Century Gothic. Century Gothic, maybe I want to make it a little bit bigger, maybe size 14. Maybe I want to make it a color. And maybe I also want to put a border underneath. So I just fix it up however I want it. What else can I do? Spacing. So maybe it's a little close. So I'm going to go indents and spacing. I'm going to go after spacing. I'm going to make it 12. Always make sure this thing where it says don't add space between paragraphs of the same style, make sure that's always cleared, never checked. Okay, that actually looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to select it, and I'm going to go up here where it says heading 1, and I'm going to right click heading 1, and I'm going to say update heading to match selection. So this black one, that's what the document heading 1 looked like as a default when I opened it up. So I'm saying, actually, I want heading 1 to look like that now. So now it kind of matches, doesn't it? And it's great because what I can do is I can go and say, well, this is a heading 1. Click. Look at that. And this is a heading 1. Select, click. This one is a heading 1. Click. And this one is going to be a heading 2. So I'm not going to do anything to that one yet. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Right? They're all the same. And when I change one, let's say that I don't want blue, I just go to any of them and maybe make it orange. It doesn't change them automatically unless I go up to heading 1 and I just do the same thing I did when I initially created it. Update heading 1 to match selection. Now they go through your whole document. If it's 44 pages long, you go through 44 pages worth of heading 1s. So what else can I put on there? I talked about this heading being down at the bottom by itself. There's another one that's doing it over here. This one's actually okay. But I want to incorporate a certain command into here. So if you wanted to, and this is what many people do, is they'll just go above it and they'll just hit enter 1 or 2 times. And that goes to the top. But what happens if I delete a paragraph? Oh my goodness. I delete a paragraph here. Uh-oh, it goes back down. So I don't really want that. I'm just going to Control Z to undo that. So what we want to do is, well, you know what? Something better than enter is Control Enter. At least Control Enter puts these page breaks in. And if you've never seen these things, it's because I have this guy here turned on. This little doohickey. It is my non-printing character. So it shows us that arrows are tabs and these guys are enters, and I see a page break, and there might be other ones, spaces. You see spaces, they're like little dots, like not a period, but it's like a little dot. So it would show you if you open the document up and you see a whole bunch of spaces, you know that somebody's using the space bar to space something over, which isn't always the best thing. We could do a whole session just on formatting here. But what that's handy for is to be able to see what's going on and to delete it. But you know what happens though is that if something still could happen and this could be detached to that. What if I went in front of here and I typed a whole bunch of stuff and new for XP ends up at the bottom again, right? So I'm going to do something that actually, I'm just going to go in front of it and delete it. And I'm going to do something to the style that will say always keep this heading with this paragraph. So I'm going to go new for XP, I'm going to go paragraph, and I'm going to go indents and spacing, and I'm going to say line and page breaks, keep with next. So it's different than keep lines together. Keep lines together was within the paragraph, so it didn't break right smack in the middle of the paragraph. This means keep this paragraph with the next paragraph. And I'm going to okay that, and it just jumps over. Bam, just jumps over. So I didn't fix this one. I thought sometimes when you push it down, then it would have pushed that one over. I'm going to go here and I need to redefine my heading. So I'm going to right click heading 1 and I'm going to go update heading to 1 to match selection. Now it's got that keep with next command in, and look at that. This guy just automatically goes to the next page. And if something happened where both of these paragraphs could stay together, then both of them would jump up there. If I wanted them all to stay together, then like these guys, these 4 paragraphs, I would want them to stay together because I wouldn't want it to have, Microsoft Word also includes these 3 style features, have it at the bottom of the page and then the 3 bullet points at the top. I don't think I would like that. So I could put put that on there as well. So when we talk about bullets, we will do that. Well, that one's not going to be a bullet, so we're going to do that one right there. We're going to say keep with next. And this guy stays with those guys. So that's how you can use that. Here's, I'm going to make this a heading 2. And let's say I'm just going to make that one, I don't know, purple. And where's my Aptos? No, my Century Gothic I used that time. And maybe bold is okay, I guess. Maybe italic, just to be different. Italic. Do I want some spacing? I think so. So you just think of all of these things that you want in your spacing, in your document. Like, how do you want it to look? And I'm going to select it and right-click heading 2 and say, look, voila, now you look like that. So if something else was a heading 2, if I came down here and I said, actually, this next line is a heading. It's a heading summary, enter. I always press enter so I have kind of a nice untouched one. If I click here, it's heading 2. If I click here, it's another heading 1. How do you get out of that? Normal. If things aren't a heading 1 or a heading 2, then they're normal. So that's the default font in the document. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of talk about that normal style. Maybe I want to make everything that's normal, that Aptos as well. Now, or that Century Gothic, and I don't know about doing that to the whole thing because I already have stuff in there. I already have some font things in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a paragraph, double click over there to select the paragraph, and I'm going to do the paragraph. I'm going to add some spacing, some after spacing, and I'm going to go up here. I'm going to keep lines together is always there. I don't want to do keep with next. I just want to be sure keep lines together was turned on. I'm going to click OK. It spaces it out a bit, just that one. I'm going to go here and I'm going to make it Century Gothic. And I might end up making my heading 1 a little bit bigger just to make it stand out from that, right? It's only size 14. It doesn't look that much bigger. Let's make it 18. Look at how easy it is to make changes. Okay, that looks good. Back to this guy. Maybe I'll change the, you know how the justification, it's the same on the left and the right. What else should I change? Before I update my normal style, I want to take a quick look at this guy. This top thing here, it is also normal. Okay, now I know, and when I opened this, I probably just selected it, made it size 24, and made it centered, and it's just normal. So I just want you to see what happens now when I go to my nice paragraph and I right click on normal, update. Well, you can see that everything else, look at how nice that is. All my text is, I haven't done that one yet. It all looks the same. Uh-oh, what's happening up here? Uh-oh. So what I should have done before I did that, right, because it's just looking like normal, what I should have done, so I'm going to undo, and I'm going to get that back. And what I'm going to do with that is, if I really, really love it, I'm going to create a style. And the style is going to be called title or something like that. So I'm going to go up to my style box. I'm going to click right in here. And down here, I got a whole bunch of cool stuff. One of the things, and sometimes what I'll do with that is I'll move it over to the side or just do it like this. And at the bottom is a little plus sign and it says new style. So if I click on that, it comes up and says, what would you like to name your style? And I'm going to say title. It's my title style. And there's some other things here that we could probably spend a lot more time talking about. But for now, I'm just going to call it my title style. Click OK. Oh, it's already in there. So I'm going to call it main title. I don't think that one's in there. So really what I could have done, and you know what, maybe I'll do that. I did want to show you how to create a style, but I'm going to be doing that in a minute anyway. So I'm just going to cancel that because you might have been saying, well, I see 2 or 3 styles. I can click on this guy. Now I don't even see a title. So I do see a title style. I didn't see it on the right-hand side. If there's ever a time where you can't see it, then you can ask for it in your options. So on that styles thing that I did from here, you can go down to options and it'll say what styles do you want to show. So I cancel that and I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to right click on title and say update to match selection. So now, well, I should probably change that to Century Gothic as well. And what do I need to do? I need to go in and right click on title, update title. So that one is now in there. And now if I go and, so there's a little bit of a process, isn't there? Select this guy and I'm going to go in and right click normal. Everything changes that I haven't already assigned a style to. So these guys, they're untouched. They didn't really change. I don't like the spacing. I do like the spacing here after new features, but I don't like the spacing in between. So what I do there is I delete that enter. I'm like, I don't want it all in one line. And I put a shift enter in. Shift enter is a line break. So all it does is it says, just go down a line. It's not an enter. An enter would be like, you're a whole separate paragraph. This is just a line break. So shift enter puts a line break in. That's really handy in things like bullets. So now my whole document is kind of changed. It all kind of looks the same. Now, wherever I am in that document, if I go in and just start to type, am I in normal? I'm in normal. It's the brand new font. This is the default font. So I never have to worry about my old font showing up again. Isn't that cool? Sometimes you're changing stuff, and then all of a sudden your old font comes up from 100 years ago. Don't have to worry about that. Okay. So I'm going to look at these bullets. I'm going to take one of those bullets, and I don't really like how they're lining up. So I think I'd like to have the bullet just, I don't know. Let's see. How does it look? If you're not sure what I'm doing, then watch some of my YouTube videos. I'm going to go in, before I do too much with this, I'm just going to go in and change the bullet, maybe just some stars, because sometimes it changes where the stuff goes anyway. Actually, I think I'd like to have that star right under the text. And let's add some spacing after. Now here's an example. It does have 12 points on it already, but it sure doesn't look like it. Why? Because this silly little checkbox is on. So if I click on that checkbox, click OK, there we go. So I don't ever want that thing on. So now I'm going to create a style. And I'm going to go down here. And what would be a good name for my star bullet lines? How about star bullets? Star bullets, sure. So that's how you create one. Just how I almost created the title. It was already there and it was a good name, so I might as well use it. I'm going to select these guys. I'm going to say you guys are also star bullets. And you guys are star bullets. And You guys are star bullets. So go through my whole thing, and that's assuming, of course, that you want to make all your bullets the same. Notice I have an extra enter after each bullet. And the reason why is because I want to incorporate the keep with next. And this is an example. I don't want this list to ever go over 2 pages. Now, this is a pretty long list. I don't think that's a big deal. But let's just say that I don't, if it's got to be, this document has got to be 6 pages, then I might as well have this breaking right here, put it together on its own so that it's all together. So I'm going to take any of my star bullets, and what will I do? We're going to paragraph, line and page breaks, say keep with next. Click OK. And right click star bullets. Look at that. All my bullets went to the next page. So this line stays with this line. And all of these lines stay with the next one. And then when it gets to the end, it stays with this blank line. If I didn't have that in there, it would stay with the word summary. And I wouldn't want that. So you're putting blanks in when you are trying to tell it where. See, this one I wanted type and press enter. I wanted that to stay with this guy. I didn't want that guy all on its own. This one I wanted to stay with that. If it wasn't in there, then it would be all together and it would get really confused on where it was kind of allowed to break. Oh, missed one. Missed a set. Now this one I might be tempted to put an extra enter in because that's quite a bit that I'm asking to stay together. So I might do this. I might just press enter and then I might say, you do not keep with next, and it's not. Is this one keep with next? No, it's not, but it should be. And I could even create a style for that. For, what would you call it? Maybe even a heading 3. It doesn't have to be a heading. It could be heading 3. So now that we've got all of that in there, and by the way, these little squares, they don't actually print out. If I do Control P right now, they don't print out. Looks like I've got a little bit of extra spacing going on there with those blank lines. So what I could do there, I could select them and I could, let's do that one because you can see it quite a bit more space there. I can say 0 and 0 and make sure this is single. There, scooches it together a little bit more. And I would probably get rid of the after spacing and maybe put before and after spacing. So 6 before and 6 after, instead of 0 and 12, 6 and 6, because then it'll put a little bit before and a little bit after. That's kind of hard to explain that, but instead of all after, it's a little bit after and a little bit before. So it takes a little bit of playing around with to get looking what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so you can very easily create a table of contents out of these. Did I miss another one? There we go. You see, you don't have to worry about things breaking across pages. I'm going to go to, oh my goodness, I missed another one. Now this one, it might complain a little bit because it's quite a long list. So I don't know that I would have that one on there. where you're telling the whole list to stay together. Maybe you would. I don't know. You could always take it off. It's up to you. I might just have that one wrapping across the pages, just because I think it looks a little bit funny. So then I might have a separate star bullets with keep with next, star bullets without keep with next. And you can, yeah, you can base one on another and that kind of thing as well. All right, I'm going to go here and I'm going to press enter a couple of times. And I'm going to say, oh, what I want, my table of contents on a separate page probably. So I'm going to control enter and control enter again, because this is kind of like my cover page, the first page. Table of contents. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to go references, table of contents, custom table of contents, and down at the bottom it says from template. So watch the little preview. Do I like that? Do I like this classic one? Do I like distinctive? What do I like? Fancy. I kind of like fancy actually. You can go through them later if you want. Show levels. Well, I really only want 2 levels. I think I only have 2 levels, but I'm just going to say show 2 levels. Click OK, and it shows me. Looks a little different. This one was my heading 2. It shows me all my heading 1s and then 2s, and it puts page numbers and everything. So now if I do something different down here, I change things up. It looks kind of weird without a, I'm just going to say overview, and I'm going to make that a heading 1. It just looked kind of funny with nothing there. And I'm going to go to my table of contents. I don't say overview anymore. I'm just going to right click and say update field. And sometimes it asks this and sometimes it doesn't. Do I want to update my entire table? Yes, I do. And now it adds that in. So it modifies it. So never, ever, ever should you go in and say, oh, look, I want this to say create and format instead of creating and formatting. If you go in there and you make changes to it, the next time you right click anywhere on it and say update field, it's just going to go back to whatever it was in the document. And notice whenever I'm resting my mouse, it says current document, control click to follow. So I can hit my control key. As soon as I hit my control key, it turns into a hyperlink. So this is where I would go if I wanted to do a change, create and format documents instead of creating and formatting documents. Go up here, right click anywhere. It doesn't have to be on that one. Update field, update entire table. And there we go. It's done. So that's a little bit about styles and table of contents. There was one extra thing in there. If I go view, I can say navigation pane. And this is an amazing way to go through your document. It's kind of like outline view in PowerPoint. And what I really like about it is that it allows you to move sections around. So new to XP, for XP, I want to put it underneath create and format documents. I just, on the left-hand side, I just click and drag, boom. Now it's on the other side of it, new for XP, and the other one is above it. So it's super, super easy when you decide you want to change, you're going to change your mind about where things should go. You can right click on that and you can see that there's a whole bunch of other options there as well. You can just print it. I just want to print this little section. Okay, so select print the heading or select the heading, do something with it, delete it, whatever you wanted to do with it. Select it and it knows what to do. It takes its heading 2 with it. It doesn't take any other heading 1s. So it's like grabs its little family. Pretty cool stuff, hey? Okay, I want to show you how you can incorporate this into a bulleted, a numbered list. So I'm going to bring up a document, and this agenda completed, this is what I want it to look like. I want it to look like this. And I don't believe that I have that one downloaded, so I'm just gonna run over here and download it. And I love using this next thing because I'm going to do the agenda unfinished. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to hit download. Don't just click on the link when you're downloading these things, because it'll take you into the internet version, like Word on the internet, on the web, and that's probably not what you want. So this is it, blah. I'm going to move it over to the right and tell it I want to pair it with this guy, just so I can see what's going on. So this part at the top, that's fine. Welcome and introductions. I'm going to say that that's a heading 1. Actually, these, all of these to Treasurer's Report, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these next 5 things are going to be heading 2s. And then Old District Business is a heading 1. And then these guys are all heading 2s. I think I even have a heading 3 in there. So I could just go, well, actually the font's almost exactly the same. Like I don't need to do anything with the font, but I could, right? I could go here and I could say that's, don't want to make it that color. Let's use blue again. Heading 1s are blue. Looks like the spacing looks pretty good actually. But what I need to do is I need to go into my multi-level or my outlined list. And I could pick one of these things. That would be really super quick. However, you do that once and you might not know how to fix it. So I'm going to go define new multi-level list. And I'm going to say level 1. What do I want it to look like? I don't want the bracket. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I never want to get rid of that shaded one. You want something different, then you go down here. Oh, I'd like ABC instead. Oh, actually, I'd like small I. Oh, actually, I'd like 1, 2, 3. You can look in that list. There's so much stuff in there. There's 0, 1s, and there's bullets and everything. So if I did that, that's great. But what I really want to do is hit more and link it to heading 1. So up here, when I redefine that, it's going to actually have the numbering with it. So I'm going to link level 1 to heading 1. And then go to number 2. And it was an A, and it's actually already an A. That's great. If I want to put a bracket on the other side of the A, I can click in there and do that. What do I need to do? Link that level to heading 2. And then heading 3 was already a Roman numeral. I think in the example it had a bracket in front and a bracket behind. And same thing, link it to heading 3. So when I click OK on that, it just does it for number 1, and it thinks I want to bold it. Maybe I don't want to bold it, so I can turn bold off. But look at that up here now. I think I want to put some spacing back too. Numbering messes with the spacing a little bit. And bullets. I'm going to right click, update heading 1. So let's bring that other guy back. Announcements, minutes, and treasurer's report. Click, click, click. Heading 1. Bank balance, all the way down to year-end books. Heading 2. Oh, those have dots. So let's go fix that. Just click one of them. Don't hit them all. Let's go to our multi-level list. Go to define new multi-level list. You're going to be going there about 8 times. You get rid of that, and you can put a dot, and then I'm going to hit home, and then get rid of that one in the front. It's still linked to heading 2. Look at that. It goes through your whole document and does it. So the third, our old district business, that is a heading 1. these guys all the way down to F, advancement. Those are heading 2s. Songs, that's a heading 3. Program and questions, those are heading 3s. So if the fonts and the styles are the fonts and the spacing are not working for you, then the first part of the lesson today was about the fonts and the spacing and the keep with next and all that kind of thing. Districts. Did I change that one? Question. Nope, there it is. It's 2. And volunteer appreciation, that's a 2 as well. I should have selected both of those. And then the last 3, those are heading 1s. Oh, it's not the last 3. Oh, I think I messed up here. New business, June, and safe guide. Yeah, I thought I was done. Heading to A, B, and C. Division report is a heading 1, and then attached is heading 2. It might be easier for you to just do all the 1s first and then all the 2s first. Now these 3 are all 1s. There we go. So this is the beauty of it, is you decide, oh, I'd like to add something else to new business. Doesn't matter where you go, as long as you go on where the line above it, hit enter. It doesn't know what to give you. It doesn't know if this new line should be a D, or should it maybe be a 7 and then everything gets renumbered, or maybe it's like these guys and it should be a Roman numeral 1. It doesn't know. So you just go to your styles and look at how beautiful that is. Should it be a 7? Should it be a D? Should it be a Roman numeral? I don't know. Let's say it's a D. And you just type. Change your mind? Okay. It's so easy. And you can use your ruler, although if it doesn't line up where you want it to line up, then it's actually better if you go into your outline numbering and fix it in there. It actually looks a little bit better. Here, say aligned at 0. And text indent is at 0.5 is okay. So then that A will go over here right under the 5 because I'm on heading 2, level 2. And I probably shouldn't have had that selected. So when you have something selected, because none of the other ones worked, it should say whole list. I'm going to cancel that because it's kind of important. I probably had it selected. And when I make changes, it says, would you just like to do this to the selected text? No, I wanted the whole list. So that was my error, 0 and 5. Now it'll work for everything. Now it's being poopy. Yeah. So usually what I'll do is I'll just make it like normal or something like that. And then I'll go back in and I'll make it heading 2. And then I'll go and I'll fix it again. I'm not going to select anything. And I'm going to say align at 0 and 0.5. It's still on heading 2. And there you go. Now it pulls out all the heading 2s. Not sure I like that, but it is what it is. It's nice to be able to do that. Probably one reason I don't is because that's not very much spacing in there. So I could go back into there, define the multi-level list, and I could increase that spacing to 0.5. That might be a little bit more uniform. Maybe put a little bit more space above. So above, take that off. And for this one, I would have to right click, update heading 1. There's a little bit more room before and after than within. Or do something fancy, like put a border on it. Borders, love borders. Right click, heading 1. This is going to be the, actually I think I like the border above it. It kind of chops it up a little bit more, doesn't it? Right click, heading 1, update. Yeah. So it chops it up a little bit. More before spacing. More before spacing, I think. 12. So might take you a little longer, but it chops it up nicely. Doesn't do it up there. I probably wouldn't do it then. Yeah, you can see what it does. You can play with it a little bit. It's a little bit picky about what's in front of it, what's above it. So that is some of the things that you could do with that. And again, people struggle with the numbering so much, but it's works pretty good when you make it into a style. So I hope you join me next time for Free Fridays. And if you want to have a chat about bringing these sessions to your workplace, either in person or online, I would love to chat with you about that. Thank you, and we'll see you again.